This is KGW News at 11.
In this moment of tragedy, I want to say to them and to the world and to terrorists everywhere that the United States stands with Israel. We will not ever fail to have their back.
A day of terror and bloodshed in the Middle East as Hamas launches a stunning surprise attack on Israel, with hundreds dead and thousands injured on both sides after the Israeli counterattack on Gaza. Thank you for joining us at 11. I'm Tim Gordon. As you can imagine, the events in Israel are sending shockwaves around the world that are being felt right here in the Pacific Northwest. Art Edwards joins us now, and Art, you spoke with a leader in the Jewish community tonight. What do you have to say?
Yeah, wide range of emotions after this attack earlier today. They say that it is really hard to believe what has happened.
Certainly saddened, appalled, shocked that it could even happen.
The Hamas attack happened on Simchat Torah.
It's supposed to be one of the most joyous holidays on the Jewish calendar, and to confront this sort of shocking news, it's just been really difficult.
The surprise attack began with thousands of rockets fired on Israel. Waves of Palestinian gunmen poured out of Gaza and into southern Israel. Hundreds are dead. Israel has responded. Israel's prime minister declared his country is at war.
It's not going to be pretty. Israel will do what it has to do to defend its borders and to defend its people.
Representatives from Oregon and Washington also reacted to the attack. Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley said, "My heart is with the Israeli people and all those impacted by these acts of terrorism against innocent civilians." Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, "The terrorist attack on Israel is appalling. The United States stands with our ally in the face of today's heinous violence." Washington Senator Maria Cantwell, "We must ensure full U.S. support for Israel to defend itself and work to avoid further escalation and a wider war." And finally, Congressman Earl Blumenauer, "I am horrified by the terrorist attacks in Israel, our strongest ally in the region. I firmly stand with the thousands of Israelis in harm's way."
We can't give up hope, but it really makes it hard to envision that there could be peace, because Israelis think, well, if this is what happened in Gaza, can you imagine what would happen in the West Bank if Hamas took over the West Bank?
The Jewish Federation of Greater Portland has a community gathering that is set for Monday night at 7:30. It's going to be held at Congregation Neve Shalom in Southwest Portland. There is also an emergency fund that they have set up that you can donate to help out. It is at jewishportland.org. Tim?
All right, Art, thanks a lot for your report. And also developing now in international news, officials in Afghanistan now say more than 2,000 people have died after a strong earthquake earlier today. The 6.3 quake struck the western part of the country near the Iranian border and was followed by a series of strong aftershocks. It's the deadliest earthquake to hit the country in at least 2 decades. Meanwhile, here in Portland, 1 man is dead and 2 others were hurt in an overnight shooting in Old Town. It happened about 12:45 this morning at Northwest 4th and Everett. Officers on patrol nearby heard the shots and responded. 1 victim died at the scene. 2 others were taken by car to the hospital, where they're both expected to survive. So far, there's no one in custody and no description of any suspect or suspects to share with you tonight. The death marks Portland's 55th homicide this year. We were at 73 at this point last year. Well, tens of thousands of Kaiser Permanente employees across the country returned to work this morning after a 3-day strike came to a close. Some 4,000 Kaiser employees in Oregon and Southwest Washington were among the 75,000 workers who walked off the job earlier this week, demanding better pay, more staffing, and increased job protections. Kaiser officials say they're working with the SEIU union leaders to set the next bargaining date. However, the strike by Kaiser pharmacy workers, who are part of a separate union, continues after they walked off the job last Sunday. It's set to go until October 21st, unless a deal is reached. All right, beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest today, Joe. Do we have another one in for us?
Yes, we do. Before we start to see some changes as you head back to Monday. That's really how it's been kind of working the last couple of weeks. We've been seeing gorgeous conditions on the weekends, but it doesn't necessarily carry over into the work week. Although I think people would really like to enjoy sunny and warm weather. And that's what we saw earlier this afternoon. We saw a record high today, Tim, of 85 degrees. Currently, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 60s with clear skies. And it's going to be a beautiful end to your weekend as well because of this ridge of high pressure that's still going to be developing heading into tomorrow. But what develops behind that ridge is this system that's going to be moving on shore late tomorrow night and really into Monday morning. We're going to be looking at some wet, windy, and cooler conditions as well. So as we queue up the clouds and rain forecast, we'll put this into motion for tomorrow morning. There could be some pockets of some sprinkle and a little bit of some drizzle along the Oregon coast, but those low clouds will start to melt away relatively quickly because by the afternoon, you're going to be seeing a lovely afternoon ahead with temperatures right around the mid-60s. A little bit cooler from what you saw earlier this afternoon, and especially much cooler from what you saw 24 hours ago. And then heading into Monday, yeah, it is going to get wet, and some of those showers will be heavy at times for your Monday morning commute. I'll talk more about that in detail about 10 minutes from now.
All right, Joe, thanks a lot. We'll see you then. Well, a Northeast Portland family is dealing with the toughest of challenges life could throw at you. Despite the suffering, they're moving forward with a little bit of help. Thomas Schultz has a story.
It's been tough, but every day, one foot in front of the other.
A few months ago, DeAndrea Menifee heard the news no one wants to hear. She was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I'm really scared, but I'm trying to just keep it all together for my kids.
She hasn't been able to work since May. Her savings dried up and struggling to provide for 2 kids and pay the mortgage on her home.
This is our family house.
The only Black-owned home on the block, and the house her mother bought when DeAndrea was in 2nd grade, though a few years ago, she passed away from cancer. This home, her mom's remaining legacy.
For us to still be able just to maintain and still be able to, keep the things that my mom worked so hard for.
Is most important.
Yeah.
In 2018, DeAndrea's dad died. Again, cancer. And about a year ago, her son's father, Nate Trigardis, who coached their son Jaden's basketball team,
hey, good job, Nimi,
was diagnosed with stage 4 penile cancer. He coached to keep kids off the street and in school.
I was born to help kids. I was born to use my life to touch other people's lives. And I just want to be able to continue to do that.
And he did just that, all the way until the end. Thursday, he passed away.
It's hard because you can't protect your kid from stuff like that. You know what I mean? The only thing you can kind of do is just be there for them.
Be there for them while she undergoes her own fight, one of many battling breast cancer. Almost a third of cancer diagnoses for women is for breast cancer. The median age, 62. But unfortunately for some, that diagnosis comes far sooner. DeAndrea,
she has a 5-year-old son,
is only 33, though she has help from Michelle's Love, a nonprofit that boosts up single parents battling cancer.
We're going to be able to pay her mortgage while she's doing her treatment.
And clean her home, provide meals too for DeAndrea and her kids Jaden and 5-year-old Kyrie, while she prepares for a close approaching surgery, less than 3 weeks away, so she can recover and move forward, one foot in front of the other. In Northeast Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.